Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another discussion / video. It is me, once again, screaming into the void of the internet. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about something, man. I'm gonna tell you something right now, dude. I just saw, Toby Maguire getting, or as people like to call him, Bully Maguire, right? Getting essentially, flambéed over the fact that he's dating a young woman, right? And I'm gonna be honest, dude. I hate simps. I think simps. I'm gonna title this video "Simps Belong in an Insane Asylum" because I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I hate men more for enabling the stupid behavior that is perpetuated throughout our society in the realm of the bias that we have on men and the ridiculous mercy that we bestow upon women, because men enable it. So I hate them a lot more than I hate the chicks that act on these things, because it's at a certain point, if you knew that you could get away with something and it was something insane, most people would do it. If you really felt like you could get away with it, you do it. You do it, man. You would do it. It's insane. And these freaking bastards, when they see people like Bully Maguire, when they see people like Leonardo DiCaprio, dating young women, they're always talking about this age gap dating. They're always talking about how, it's not fair and all this stuff. And I'm like, why the heck is it not fair? Why is it not fair? And those same people, because I said this previously, there is a mass amount of groomers in freaking schools right now. Female groomers, because male teachers left. There are not many male teachers. I can attest to this. Dude, when I was in high school, I rarely had male teachers, because all the male teachers, 9 times out of 10, just eventually probably dipped. Because all it takes is one false accusation, and that's it. Because you're dealing with kids, dude. And remember, if you get a false accusation in relation to just adults, it's a problem. But when it comes down to children, oh yeah, that's the end of your career. That could be the end of your life, especially if you go to jail for it and then someone just assumes. Because a lot of times, guards will just say what the guy did, even if there's no evidence, and then some inmate kills him, because criminals are more just than we are. Well, I'm just gonna say this right now. Criminals are more just than we are. If there was a crazy woman that murdered her kids and she went to a female prison, those female inmates would still kill her. I'm dead serious. Criminals are more just than our justice system. And I hate the fact that it is, again, perpetuated by these punk simps. I hate that. I cannot stand the fact that you're always seeing this instance where this simp is siding with these old hags, telling a guy who has the ability to get a young woman that somehow, he's some kind of groomer, he's some kind of he's a pedophile and stuff like that. Meanwhile, hold up, age of consent, 18. In some places it's 16, right? So if he's doing it legally, what's the problem? I find it amazing that you're in a day and age where people are saying, it's our body, our choice, right? Our body, our choice. And when I mean that, I'm mainly referring to women, right? But then when that woman chooses to get with a rich guy, they don't like that. And though they won't get on the woman, because let's usually be honest. A lot of instances, it's the chick making the move on the rich guy. When they know that he's got money, they're just going to get with him. They don't give a rat's arse, because I'm going to tell you this, and I said it the other day. There is no such thing as a woman out of your league. There's just a woman out of your price range, because she is under the guise that her vagina is somehow some rare commodity, even though there are more women on the planet than men. You know what I mean? And so for them, sometimes they just say, hey, well, I'm worth, all of this money and this, that, and the other. And I just laugh because I don't give a rat's arse. No, you're not worth that. You're not even close to being worth that. And when I look at all these simps, just siding with the chick, saying how awful it is. I'm like, you're hilarious. Because when I listen to them, and they'll always tell themselves, when they see these female teachers raping these boys and girls, oh, I wish I was in school. I want to be a victim. I should be a student. I see why crucibles were a thing. I see it. I see why crusades and crucibles were a thing. I do, folks. Because some people need to be purged. Go ahead, CuckTube, take it out of context. Don't give it full context, go ahead. I see why witches got, what they got. I don't think that they did it because they were a witch, literally, like black magic and stuff like that. They did it because because this chick thought that she could do something effed up and then just hide behind the fact that she was a woman to get away with it. You see, folks, let me tell you something right now. A group, a society, a culture that holds only one side accountable is doomed to fail, because eventually the side that sees that they're never at fault, no matter how evil they can be, they're going to take full advantage of that crap. That's why they're doing it here. Why do you think that you have alphabet mafia cocksuckers in your schools, in your libraries and stuff like that, and then they're freaking shaking their hips in front of little boys and girls, and then they're telling them that, oh, there's 10 trillion genders and all this crap? Why do you think that they can do that, and basically get a slap on the wrist? Because they're not held accountable. They know that if the cops get up their arse, they could just say, phobic. And so the police usually gives them a whole lot of leeway. It takes a whole lot for a cop to have to, escort, a freaking alphabet mafia bastard out. It takes a whole lot for it. Because they see that they have power. And I'm telling you, big time, dude, these chicks know that they have power. They know that they can get away with molesting these kids. They know that they can get away with, false accusations and stuff, and so they do it. They do it on a massive scale. And it's screwing everything up. Big time. Big time, dude. It's screwing everything up. And what pisses me off is that no matter how much you bring this up, you're always going to have these punk arse suckers that are out here saying, oh, well, I'm so envious, I'm so jealous, where was she? How about you stop being a freaking simp? Take $50, go get you a hooker, bust your nut, and realize what the heck you're saying. Because what you're saying is legalize pedophilia. Because I'm dead arse. I'm be real. I wouldn't care if it was legal. At this point, I am so jaded. I wouldn't care if it was legal. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. Especially about the freaking Blizzax community. The Ratchets. The Ghettos. The Nibbas. My peeps, as people want to say. Let me tell you something about them. The lack of fathers has completely destroyed this society, and no group suffers from it more than this community. Because this community only chooses the most debaucherous, cancerous, cocksucking faggots as fathers here. Let me tell you right now. Let me give you an example. When I was still going in high school, so this is a few years back, but it was still in my head, clear as day, right? When I was still going to high school, I went to my little sister's so-called graduation. I don't know why they call it a graduation when it's just from freaking elementary school to middle school, but I digress. I went to it, right? And apparently, one of their friends, like my sister's, the little girl, again, mind you, elementary school, she saw me there. And my sisters thought it would be a brilliant freaking idea to give this random chick my number. But let me get to the point. When I found out that it was a little girl, because I wasn't talking to her like that. I was like, whoa, who the heck is this? And stuff like that. Because she just immediately starts flirting and stuff. And I'm thinking, who the heck is this chick? Maybe she has the wrong number. And then she essentially says my name and all that stuff for my sisters at the time. Because I'm getting to the point here. Okay. And she's essentially talking about this illicit stuff. I'm like, you're a whole little kid. Why the heck are you even talking to a freaking teenager right now? And she's like, well, I'm willing to do, X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to say the words. But let's just say sucky, sucky, sloppy, toppy. Stuff like this. She's in... Listen. Elementary school. At best. 12 or 13. And she's talking about freaking sexual acts. Because there's no dad in the picture. There's no one regulating this behavior. And so these little freaking girls are going around here talking to the grown men. Because you know what they usually show? They always make it seem like it's the man that went on to the little girl. They're never showing the instances where the girl went on to the man. And I'm not saying that it's right at that point, but I'm trying to prove a point here. If you got such a freaking problem, well, with pedophilia when it's from the, guy approaching the girl, what about when it's the girl approaching the guy? Because unfortunately, the lack of fathers throughout the society has essentially just created this breeding ground where you got little girls, 12 years old, 10 years old, freaking having sex. Completely unaware of the consequences of their actions. They're completely unaware of getting pregnant at that age and the massive detriment that it's going to put on their life. Because when these cocksuckers are out here saying that that should be fine, they're not thinking about this stuff. They're still developing. Okay, they can't handle certain instances. If they tried to give... I don't want to be too explicit, okay, but let's just say the hot dog is trying to go into the donut, essentially, you know, and the donut is still like a small, like, little mini donut, like the ones that you get, like, I think they're Hostess or something like that. It's going to tear the donut, okay, like, I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together, and especially if, like, a baby is involved, you know, so usually a lot of times C-section needs to be in place, and then you have to wonder if are her... let's just say this, her mammaries, are they developed enough to nurse the kid? And even if they're not, then, you know, like, formula, but even then, you know, like, you never know, like, life's, you're not entitled to stuff, and who knows if she even has the money to get that, right? This is what I'm trying to say, okay, like, there are reasons why we don't do that. There are reasons to why we have said, okay, this is the appropriate age. There's a reason for that. And these freaking cocksuckers are all out here trying to normalize this crap just because they're thirsty and they don't want to freaking go and just pay for the freaking hooker. This is what I can't stand. Like, this is why I say I want prostitution legalized, even though I myself would probably not visit them. Because... these suckers, this down-back crap, I'm convinced right now, simps need to be forcefully re-educated. Forcefully. I mean it. We have too many freaking insane people out walking amongst us. All the asylums are freaking empty. They destroyed the asylums, and they're walking amongst us. They need to freaking take these cocksuckers, they need to take these gender identity bastards, haul them up, throw their arses in a straitjacket, and just freaking juice them up, do whatever they're gonna do to them, and keep them in the asylum, because they're freaking insane. These are the cocksuckers that destroy societies. They are. They are. Because they advocate for the crap that destroys everything. And listen, by all means, I'm not one of these cocksuckers that is for the status quo. Okay? But I am certainly not someone who likes seeing effed up crap happen. And then when justice is supposed to happen, when some cocksucker is supposed to meet his timely end, or her timely end, because I'm about equal rights, baby. And when I see instances where the guy almost always meets his timely end, unless he's got money, right? But the chick, she could be a homeless gal. She could have done something absolutely despicable, and she is going to get away with it. And even if she doesn't get away with it, even if she goes to jail, or within a year, 2 years, good behavior. How is that possible? How is that freaking possible? Why are people so freaking down bad? How are guys under the impression that it is impossible for them to get sex, that they will literally look at a freaking criminal who does that crap to kids, molests kids, freaking kills kids, all this kind of crap, and then they're gonna say, oh, well, good behavior, I'm sure I can fix her. I hate these nibbas, man. I can't stand them. I can't. It makes no sense why we're in this predicament right now, other than the fact that the simp nature of these suckers has put us here. Because listen, like I said, if you saw that you could get away with something, and you weren't going to, like, have it happen, you probably do it at some point, no matter how good you want to say you are. And this, I'm speaking to myself here, you know? Let's say it like this. I like video games. Love them. You know? Big gamer. If I saw that I could just get a PlayStation 5, you know, and just walk out the store with, say, Elden Ring's new DLC, would I do it? You know, as much as I'm saying it right now, like, okay, I would never. But you don't know who you are, like, down the line a few years. And you've seen an instance where these chicks have had years of just being the victim, air quotes, no matter what. Even when you're not the victim, when you're the oppressor, you know, they are off scot-free because of crocodile tears. I am convinced, dude, simps, high-key, need to be in insane asylums. They need to. There is something mentally wrong with their freaking brains because they didn't have a father in their life. They were raised by single moms. Their school system failed them. And in spite of having access to the internet, in spite of having access to try and search for truth, they instead just embraced their delusion. You know? They embraced the whole thing of, oh, let's just continue to simp. Let's just continue to allow people to get away with stuff because they have titties and arses and stuff like that. Because, listen, here's the ultimate test of a simp, right? Right? Here's the ultimate test. Give them the illusion that that's a woman. And then just say, okay, that's a trans testicle. Do you still feel like they were innocent? A lot of times they'll say no. And it just shows that, again, they're only doing it because it's a woman. They're only letting them get away with crap because it's a woman. But the moment that they find out that it's not a woman, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now his dick belongs in a wood chipper. But this chick just deserves a slap on the wrist. Or, oh, I'm jealous. Wish I was the kid. I'm telling you guys, like, a lot of these simps need to be in freaking re-education camps. I mean it. You know, you want to make concentration camps, go concentrate these cocksuckers, because they need it. They need to be educated. They really do. They need to, someone needs to, like, evaluate all of the mental issues that they got going on in their freaking heads, and they need to just do something. They really do. But it's probably just a ton of freaking childhood trauma, emotional trauma. They didn't have a freaking dad in the home, like, all kinds of crap. So I don't even know if that would be enough, but I'm kind of just ranting because I'm so sick of seeing this. I'm always reading these articles where some chick's raping a kid and these cocksuckers are jealous. I mean, think about it to this day, right? You've got instances where, like, what is her name? Freaking Brittany Renner or something? Yeah, that slut. She groomed a kid for, like, what, a year or 2 years before he was of age, got pregnant with him, and then said that she didn't at all intend on being, like, a single mom, despite the fact that she had wrote a book about, like, fleecing men for their money using sex. This is the freaking society that you live in. I'm convinced, dude. I'm convinced now. Until we just truly just start embracing, like, absolutely brutal, harsh punishments, this will never change. It is only in places where they just say, you know what, freaking excommunication penalty consistently for crap like that, that's when it changes. Because when suckers realize that their lives are alive, and then, you know, the left just tries to tell you, oh, well, this is just barbaric. I don't give a rat's arse, because you cocksuckers are making a society where no one is safe. I would rather have a small group of people be brutalized, especially when they freaking deserve it. Like, because let's just get something straight. This whole crap where people are saying, oh, well, no one ever deserves that. Excuse me? A freaking pedophile doesn't deserve punishment? Excuse me? A freaking homewrecker in the worst way imaginable. A chick ruining a family. Cheating on her husband. Paternity fraud and whatnot. She doesn't deserve some kind of penalty? Nah. Until people, you know, unfortunately, I wish it didn't have to happen. But until it happens, nothing's going to change. Make rocking great again. Yeah, make it great again. People need to get rocked. Maybe we need more witch trials. Don't believe me? Tell you what. If every guy who is a supposed dad got a paternity test right now, I would argue, because they said the ratio right now is like 1 in 10 kids. I don't think it's 1 in 10 kids. I think they're talking out their arse. I think it's way higher. Because you look so much at these families, and you look at all these stepdaddy situations and all this crap. Who is the freaking dad? How many dads are actually in the picture? How many? How many? How many dads are in the picture? These chicks are getting pregnant by like 4 different dads. They got like 4 kids, 4 different dads. None of them are in the picture. And you mean to tell me that we're just supposed to look at that and not do anything about it? The paternity fraud going on and just not do anything about it. Just continue to allow families to get cucked. Because you want to know who it screws over the most? It screws over the men. That's true. Big time. But it cheats the kid out of a dad. Because the moment that the kid needs something from, like, say, who is supposed to be your father. Let's say that, again, like I used this example before. Kid needs an organ transplant. 9 times out of 10, the parent is usually always going to be willing to donate an organ, do something, because it's the kid. It's the parent, it's their kid. They're going to look out for him. And then they find out, oh, we're not related at all. They do Ancestry and Me. We're not related at all. You got to think about this, man. You got to think about this. And no one cares. No one cares because they're just consistently willing to let these cocksuckers get away with stuff. No one wants to hold people accountable anymore. And that is why the society has turned into what it's turned into big time. Because you have so many instances where the worst possible people are in power. Like, just think about it in the grand scheme right now, folks. Think about the absolute circus that we're under. We're in a massive circus tent, right? Think about it. The fattest cocksuckers alive, literally, are out here in charge of the Department of Health. Why in the world am I listening to an obese bastard explain to me anything about health? Why am I going to take doctor advice from a guy who's out here cutting freaking dicks off and nuts off, taking out titties, and giving their freaking patients hormone castration? That's what it is. It destroys the balance of the body's hormones, and it ruins them. Leaves them infertile. And I'm supposed to listen to these cocksuckers about my health? I'm supposed to listen to cocksuckers in Congress who have been confirmed to be caught having CP. Just saying. I'm supposed to take that seriously? We're in such a clown world, it's not even funny, dude. It's not even funny. Like, when you really just start thinking about it, it's insane. It's so stupid. I'm not even worked up over, like, anything personal. It's just, like, I look at stuff like that, and I'm like, listen, man. I'm convinced that, like, we need a crusade or something. I'm dead serious. We really do. There are just some people that need to get freaking hung on display or something. Go ahead and take it out of context, cut to. Go ahead and just say that. Just clip that and just say it's just me. Yeah, go ahead. I mean it, though. It's the only way. It's the only way this stuff stops. For some reason, humans do not want to be diplomats. They only want to rule when there's some kind of power involved. You gotta point a freaking gun in their freaking face for them to do the right thing. They know what to do because it takes a gun being pointed in their face to do it. You know what I mean? They know what to do, they just don't want to do it until they have no choice. It's so stupid. It's so stupid to me. But what do you expect from this freaking race, right? What do you expect? I digress. I'm gonna just stop ranting right here because I just wanted to get that out of my system because I'm so sick of looking at that. I'm so sick of the hypocrisy. Especially when it comes down to freaking pedophilia, air quotes. Because all these instances, here's just a grown man dating a youthful woman. She's 18, she's of age. Didn't do anything wrong. 20, she's of age, didn't do anything wrong. But then, when you got massive instances where a married woman with children is out here molesting a little girl, a little boy. Oh, well, I'm jealous. I wish I was a student. Oh, well, he enjoyed it. Spin it around then. What if the little girl enjoyed it? Oh, but you're not going to say that, are you? Because listen, all I'm asking for is consistency. If you really feel that way, then legalize pedophilia. Japan did it. And they still have a failing birth rate. Isn't that something? Because, if men were so evil, if we were so, manipulative, let's go ahead and look at the examples where the age of consent is lower. Why is the population rate bad? Japan essentially legalized 13-year-old girls as age of consent, right? Why is the population rate bad? If guys are so thirsty for them, why aren't they just going for them? Why are those guys still just saying, hey, I'm going to stick with 2D over that? Because guys aren't nearly as freaking vile as you want to make them out to be. Not by a freaking long shot. But I'm telling you right now, if it was legal right now in America, I'm dead serious. I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt now, I am convinced that more often than not, you would see massive amounts of women just molesting little boys. And they'd be uploading it on the Pornhub and all that crap. They do it. They do it. I'm convinced now. Looking at this crap, I am absolutely certain. The messages that you be hearing like from these articles when they get released. Oh, I'm gonna ride you till morning. I'll make you scream. Make sure that you call me mommy and stuff like that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I'm sure that there's a simp listening to this right now and you're going, oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. They're the problem. I'm dead serious. They're the problem. Simps, along with them, lock them up. Make the asylums, lock them up. Lock them up, throw away the key. Because that's the only where these people belong. That's where they belong. They're both insane, lock them up together. Go make some freaking insane bastards. Go do it. Because that's all that's going to come from this. Just freaking insane people. It's stupid to me. Can't stand it, man. I'm going to go ahead and conclude here, guys. Hope you enjoyed. God bless. I'll see you in the next one.